Okay, magandang gabi ho sa inyo lahat. Welcome po sa ating program. Si Sunny Laragan ito live on a Thursday. It's a happy Thursday. Nako, laging pagkaganto pagka napapangiti yung ating kasama ho lagi dahil kasama rin ho tayo ngayon. It becomes a happy Thursday. But yes, in the midst of the pandemic, we are on lockdown 2.0, no? Dito sa UK. No, sorry, it's in England. Pero yes, we have nothing else to do but to be, be cheerful about our lives, no? Hindi naman pwedeng magmukmok na lang ho tayo at magmalungkot at matakot, no? Life has to carry on. And syempre, marami tayong mga kababayan dito na nasa mga ano tawag dito, nasa mga sitwasyon na pag-uusapan natin. We have a topic for tonight, no? People who have overstayed, no? What do you need to do? Ano ba dapat gawin? Ano ang situation na yan? Is it the end of the world? Is it a pagkakataong nakakatakot ho ba? No? So tonight, pag-uusapan ho natin yan. But syempre, binabati ko ho kayo na happy Thursday. Welcome to our program. It's another evening of information and immigration information that we need to to imbibe at alamin para ho sa gabing ito. Syempre, hindi naman ho ako ang immigration corner with Sunny Laragan, and of course, itong kasama ho natin na eksperto ho dito sa immigration, no? Walang iba kundi si Attorney Lira Simon CABATBAT. Attorney, maganda or happy Thursday to you.
Happy Thursday, Sonny. Nice to see you again.
Yes. Yes, it's nice nga. No, we look forward to it because it's getting together and then magkukumustahan tayo, and of course information na naman for our kababayans. I treat this as a learning thing. When you take when you discuss things, I take notes. No, somehow, and then I recap it a bit to you, and then perhaps if I'm not kind of clear with one of those lines or of two lines, siguro, and then I just ask you, no, just to reiterate,
Yeah,
ulitin lang natin. Although parang okay lang naman yun. No? So good evening, happy Thursday. Teka muna.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
ay, teka muna. Tuloy ba yung atin natin? Tuloy ba natin yung ating unang bumate ba? Let's do it.
Yes, of course.
Oo.
Opo.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oo,
yeah, yeah.
oo, oo.
Yung
Meron
una
ba tayong ano? Teka
natin,
muna,
sa atin.
sino? Teka muna, yeah. Hindi, sa-set up ko na. Ano ko lang muna. Sige. Kumusta? How was your week? Kumusta naman ang linggo mo? Na-miss ka namin for 1 week. So, we get to see each other every week, no? So,
Yeah.
yeah, na-miss ka namin. Kumusta naman? How was it? How was your week? What did you do the past 7 days? So, well, aside from work, no?
Oh, no.
So, ayan. Mm.
Work has been talagang busy kami with the quite a lot of hearings finally. Yung nga lang most of them are happening online, no, either by phone, which is really not
Mm-hmm.
very good, or by video, which kind of works nga. But I'm missing the personal appearance, I must say. But this week it's been so busy. I've had oh uh, four hearings, no,
Oh,
sunod-sunod nga. So it's been
all via
quite
video,
a full on.
attorney? All via video? All
Yeah,
video, ano pa rin yan,
I,
siyempre, no?
yeah, one
Oh,
phone. One small hearing by phone, and otherwise all video. And then on Monday I have a full hearing, a whole day hearing by video.
okay.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it's I think that's the
It's a
longest
video.
uh, you're hearing that I've had so far. So let's see. Hopefully, it works. So we'll be
All right.
cross-examining clients by video. So let's see. Hopefully that works. It's I mean, at least it's getting done, no? But it's still not ideal. So hopefully, tapos na itong lockdown natin. So yeah, so this week unfortunately has been mainly work. So truly, I mean, I always say this, pero talagang totoo, I do look forward to happy Thursdays, and I truly am happy on Thursday because it just it's
Oo nga, oo nga. Totoo yan.
um, yeah, it's a learning sa akin nga din, it's a learning curve because people have actually have emailed me and in fact a couple of people I've seen and it's coming out of the our immigration corner nga and they have
Mm-mm.
specific questions that they want to, and hence the topic ng overstayed, what do you need to do. So it's quite, it's a very, for me especially guys, it's an interesting topic that every circumstance is different. no?
No.
Truly, it's those huge topics. It's probably bigger than any other topic that in immigration, because overstayers can include people who come into the UK and then natapos na nga, who people who are about to become overstayers, people perhaps who now have leave pero dati nga overstayers, and it's a
Mm.
combination of all sorts of provisions. So it's a very for me it's a very interesting, but it truly is a full-on topic. So hopefully, interesado nga kayo, the viewers, and even and that to feel free, please, to make
May,
contact nga with us.
may, may problema tayo. Baka may overstaying sila. Parang mahiya sila magtanong. Paano kaya, ano ang sistema kaya natin? Hindi naman sila pwede mag-alias. Makikita naman yung kanilang Facebook account, no? Paano kaya, no? Tama ka. But I think
Yeah,
that's quite no? Pwede bang ano na lang, ganito? Pero magpipretend na lang na kunyari, no? Na through a friend. Pero anyway, sige. Let's, you can ask questions naman. Okay lang ho. Walang problema yan, no? Gawin natin ano yan. Kasi alam kong, ito isang ano rin, di ba? Parang, it's a people get parang embarrassed to admit to other people, 'di ba? Pagka nasa crowd sila sa parties na ay overstayed ako. Kasi there's another word for that na medyo tayong
yeah,
mga Pilipino ay medyo ano tayo diyan, TNT, 'di ba? Yung tago ng tago. 'Di ba?
yeah,
Tago na tayo.
yeah,
You equate it to parang a life of ano ba yan? Parang James Bond, nagtatago ka lagi na baka sakaling ano, no, mahuli ka. Oo. Pero ang hirap niyan, mahirap yan, 'di ba? Yung dibdib mo kumakaba-kaba ng ganyan pagka nadaan ka sa police station, 'di ba? Yung mamaya ma-deport ka and you're probably have a job na ano ba tawag doon na exploited ka na binibigyan ka lang na napakababang sweldo pero tinitiis mo because you wanna provide for your family back home, no? 'Di ba? Ano ba?
yeah.
Yan
No,
ba di-discuss
absolutely.
natin? Overstayed? What
Yeah.
do we need to do? What do they need to do,
Yeah.
attorney?
Yeah, so yung pag-uusapan nga natin ngayon. But I mean, picking up on what you say, na kung yung nga din, I'm getting emails and also phone calls. Marami tayong viewers,
Mm,
and really I'm so pleased there. People are making contact with me from truly everywhere, really.
mm,
This week
mm,
I
mm.
had a couple from Austria. Um, Not overstayers, obviously, but so they were via our immigration corner nga. Now, I was going to suggest this. Now, kung nahihiya nga kayo, you could also do this, pero you don't want to, ayaw nyo nga din mag-email, pwede nyo contact me by email, no? Kung ayaw nyo akong kausapin. And I promise, kung ano man i-email nyo sa akin, pangalan nyo, hindi ko yung nilalagay dun sa, we won't disclose it, no? We'll keep it confidential nga. Now, if you want the question to be discussed at the, during our broadcast nga, what you could also do, so alam nyo na I'm talking to you or about your case, is you can give me an alias, no? Kung sabihin nyo, ang pangalan ko, ang alias ko Raul, for example, o Sampaguita, ganon. Then, I will refer to you as that. So, at least alam mo, ikaw ang kausap ko, no? And yung sitwasyon mong dinidiscuss nga natin. So, that way, we can share it, but at the same time, we protect your privacy. Um, so feel free, as I say, to email me, and then we can discuss the issue, as I say, at the next broadcast. And actually, that's why today I thought I'd kind of start the broadcast that way, because I've had a lot of inquiries, because ito nga, yung overstaying, this topic is massive. So I've actually noted 5 scenarios from people who I've been in contact with nga this week, in fact, who have had questions about yung status nga nila, but for all of them, wala na nga silang visa. So it's probably more interesting also to apply the law to the facts, rather than just speaking about the provisions. Also, it's impossible to speak about the provisions of overstayer. Yung mga batas to do with overstayers is so it's truly a massive topic. So it's difficult to be exhaustive about it, no? So so we thought today, pag-usapan natin the specific facts, and then let's apply the law to them. If I hope that's of interest to all the viewers.
Yeah, we can wait. Well, ganito naman tayo. We have a topic for the night, and then later on, if you have any questions other than the topic, po pwede yan. Pero with overstaying siguro, we could probably devote about 2, 3, 4 episodes with this, no? Parang ganyan siguro, no? Because like you said, this is massive, eh. So po pwede yan. I remember I had some mga people na na-meet ko noong una na nahihiya, hindi wala ganun, no? They don't want to open up muna, eh, kasi dahil baka akala na ituturo mo o pag nalaman mo baka makuwento mo sa ibang tao na ano, no? Pero ang sinasabi ko, huwag
Mm-mm.
kayong matakot kasi ako wala akong insecurities na. I mean, in terms of ano, dahil ako British citizen o legal ako o permanent resident, wala akong kaiinggit sa inyo. Mag ano lang kayo, you be open, you be friends, huwag kayong matakot, ganyan. Pero yun nga,
Mm-mm.
dahil nakakatakot nga, go overstay kasi, di ba? Wala nang papel. Eh. Kung tutusin, ano ba tawag dyan? Wala ka ng papel, di ba? In other
Yeah.
words, no? Parang wala ka na rin papel. Wala ka ng legal na,
No.
papel para magstay dito. Dito, di ba?
Mm-mm.
Dahil ano ka na eh. Oh, yung pinahintulutan ka maging tourist ka o maging estudyante ka, ano pa ba mga pagkakataon diyan? Pwede ba yung spouse visa na pumalpak, pwede ring
Yeah.
mag-overstay yun? Pwede rin ba? Pwede
Yeah,
rin, no?
pwede. Kahit ano, pwede ka maging overstayer nga. Yeah, so it's kung paso ng visa mo, kahit anong nakuha mong visa, overstayer ka na, potentially. Actually, that's quite different from, pag-usapan din natin the difference between that and what they call, illegal entrant. Because the two are quite different nga. And
Yun nga,
sometimes,
gusto
hindi
ko rin
naman lagi
maliwanag. Oo. Gusto ko
illegal
maliwanagan
entry.
yan, attorney. Ano ba, illegal entrant? Para bang hindi ba nakapasok ng legal yan? Kunyari, ang iniisip ko, parang magiging illegal yan. Di ba? Parang nakapasok as turista, nag-overstay. Nakapasok as estudyante, nag-overstay. Nakapasok siguro ng, ano pa ba? Basta anything na pagpasok. Pero how can an illegal entry be happen? Yung gusto ko yung malaman, curious ako. Paano nakapasok? Dahil dadaan sa ano yan eh. Sa, ano ba yun? Yung mga, yung guys na magtatanong, how long are you gonna be staying here? Ano ba tawag doon? Port of entry? Ano ba tawag sa kanila?
Yeah,
Is
so
there a specific guys? Di
your port
ba?
of
Sa port
entry.
of entry.
Yeah.
Baka sinasabi mo, baka kunyari nag-swimming mula sa isang France ganon. Illegal entry ba? Ganon po. Mga ganon
Yeah,
ba? Yung parang pumasok
yeah,
na walang, hindi, not through the port of entries. Yung
yeah,
mga illegal
that would
entry.
be one. Yeah, that would be one, but that's not the common one. So, illegal entries, kung pumasok ka dito, sabihin natin hindi mo pangalan, no? Ibang passport ang ginamit
Okay,
mo.
okay.
So,
Oo,
ibig
okay.
sabihin, dokumento mo, false documents ka. So, that is an illegal entrant dahil nga hindi hindi tama yung visa binigay sa iyo. Yun.
Oo. May
So, you would
usong-uso sa ano yan, attorney sa Taipei, sa Taiwan, na yung kapatid nila hingin, ako na lang gamitin ko pangalan mo, kunyari, kapatid lang, may asawa na, nanay na, gano'n, may mga anak na, gagamitin ng kapatid yung pangalan niya, gagawa ng passport, pupunta ng Taiwan. Ganon din ba yung sinasabi mo o hindi? They use a
yeah,
different identity? Oo, ganon. Legal yung
yeah.
dokumento nila, pero mali, parang ganon. Hindi tama, hindi sila yun.
Ibang tao.
Uy,
Yeah.
may kilala ako, attorney, pero hindi ko na babanggitin yung pangalan. Basta may kilala ako rito, babae. Ibang pangalan niya sa, nung pumasok siya rito. And dahil nga ibang ginamit niya, parang pinangatawanan na lang niya yung pangalan na yun. Pero sa Facebook, iba ang pangalan niya, parang yung tunay na pangalan niya. Pero yung iba ang pangalan niya tunay. Anyway, sige, pag-usapan na natin overstaying, na mukhang very interesante ito, no? Sisimulan natin ang discussion. Sige, attorney, take it away. Go, go, go. Oops, medyo nag-freeze yata yung video ni attorney. Medyo nag-freeze. Oh, okay. Teka mo, nag-freeze yung video ni attorney, nag-freeze. Okay. Ako na muna, no? Bale, ganun. Anong ba tawag dito? Pag-uusapan natin itong overstaying. Nag-overstay ka, ano na mga pwede mong gawin? Ano na mga bagay-bagay na pwede mong siguro maisip na gawin, no? Dahil, hindi ko sasabihin dyan. Hindi ko madidiscuss yan. Hintayin lang ho natin si attorney at nawala saglit. Teka muna, mag-break muna tayo. Total, nawala siya, no? Sandali lang, mag-break muna tayo. Sige, sandali lang ho, no? Huwag ho kayong alis, mag-break lang ho kami. Huwag ho kayong alis, saglit po lamang.
During these trying times, we salute the frontliners who are tirelessly caring for all of us against the COVID-19. To all the courageous nurses, doctors, carers, and paramedics at the NHS, words are not enough to thank you. We at Highlight Express International are here to support you back with a full semester 10% discount when you send your balikbayan boxes to your family in the Philippines. Dahil ang Highlight Express International ay para sa pamilya.
Ayan, okay. Naku, ayan, okay. Naku, talaga nga namang mukhang na-late ang pagmumult of ano ba yung aking buhok na nawala tuloy sa yung aking glamour. Okay, good evening ho once again at balik na ho tayo at naku, etong siyempre, ah, hindi ho ako pwedeng magsalita rito at wala akong alam sa immigration, no? Gusto ko man pag-usapan tong dinidiscuss natin, hindi ho po pwede. Dahil napakaganda at naka, na may mga nagre-react na ho sa atin, no? Gusto ko hong oops, ano ba 'to? Isasama na ho natin, nagkaroon ng bago ho, naku, bumili ho ng biglang bagong camera si attorney. At sandali lang, alamin lang ho natin kung nasaan siya, no? Um, Sandali lang ho. Ayan, okay. Alright, ayun, nandito na siya. Okay, wow, finally. Naku, na-suspense tayo, attorney, ah. Okay, let's say, teka muna, asan na ba 'to? Ah, Naku, good evening, attorney. Naku, parang nga naman, bakit gano'n, no? Parang tayong late yung, parang late yung, ano natin, late yung, ano ba tawag dito? Yung All Souls Day, mga ganyan, di ba? Mga
Yeah.
Halloween, yung mga ano, no? Oo. Uy, meron
So,
mga interesting na lumalabas na, no? Oo. Oh, yeah,
mhm.
sorry. We missed you, ha? We missed you. Nabigla ka namin na-miss. At ang ganda ng
So,
ating mga
sorry.
di-discuss, no? Di bale,
Yeah.
bago naman tayo bumalik, meron tayong winner na lang siguro. Ang winner natin siguro do sa ating first na nanood sa atin o nag-message. Siguro next time ira-raffle na lang natin para fair to everybody, no? Pero okay na muna yan. Parang unang nanood sa atin, sino ba to? Si Glo Marie. Last week si ano? Nako, ito ang pinakamahabang pangalan sa mundo, no? Si Glo Marie. Tama nga ba? Baka mali ang aking ano, Marie. Glo Marie. Sandali, tingnan natin ang kanyang pangalan. Nasa ba yung kanyang pangalan? Si Glo Marie. Nakakatuwa ang pangalan nito. Attorney eh. Pagkahaba-haba eh. Glo Marie Rose. Nanalo yata siya last weekend nung ating Sabado Panalo. We give away prizes kasi mga 3,000 pesos sa ating mga
Oh,
uh, Glo Marie, Glo Marie. Nakahirap pa ang pangalan ng spelling nito. Tina-type lang natin kasi ano, Glo Mary, haba ng pangalan nito. Rose.
so nanalo siya.
Ilabas today. Nanalo siya last weekend yata itong ano
Uh,
no Sabado.
oh,
Oo, oo,
okay.
para sa kay oo, kaya congratulations. Ayan. Ito na siya, attorney, para at least maano natin. Si Glo Marie ba, biro mo, nanonood ka lang dito sa atin sa station natin. Nananalo ka ng pera, nananalo ka ng, ano pa ano may bigay natin yung ano yung Doritos yata, Doritos.
Doritos natin.
Oh, Doritos.
Ah, so, yeah, Glo
Hmm,
Marie Rose Casino Martinez. Wow. Yeah,
yes.
ang swerte mo.
Yes.
Wow, yeah, definitely.
Oo.
You should buy a lottery ticket. So that would make it a hat trick,
Oo.
no? Diba?
Yes, oo. Kasi di ba may mga ganyan, let's say yung mga, ano ba tawag dito, yung mga beginner's luck, no? Pero hindi ko alam kung beginner's luck o strict ng luck yan. Nanalo siya rito sa Sabado Panalo. At the same time, ito, nanalo pa siya ng ano, ng konting katuwaan lang naman. It's not a big ano lang. Parang just a small game that to make things happy on a Thursday. Okay,
Tama.
attorney, sige.
Okay.
Na-miss ka namin. So, kailangan pag-usapan na. Anong pag-uusapan mo na ngayon? Sige, go, go, go. Ikaw na.
Okay.
Take it away.
So, yeah, so pag-usapan na natin to. Let's it's yung nga sabi ko, it's a big topic. So just in case I get cut off, let's get on with it. So um
Yeah.
overstayers, yeah. So overstayers, anong ibig sabihin overstayers, yeah? Yung pinag-usapan nga natin kanina, so dumating ka dito, may visa ka nga dati, kung ano man ang visa mo, so estudyante, spouse, sabihin natin, o kaya visit visa, pero paso na, okay? Pagka napaso na yung visa mo, then you are then deemed to be an overstayer. Now, at the same time, may mga tao, sinasabi nila, illegal entrant. Now, there's a difference between an overstay at illegal entrant. So, illegal entrant, kung pumasok ka dito pero wala kang visa. No? And the same goes for, so kung ibang dokumentong ginamit mo, ibang passport ang ginamit mo. So, hindi nga, tama nga yung dokumento, tama yung passport, tama yung visa, pero hindi yung binigay sa'yo, ibang tao. Ibig sabihin, illegal entry ka pa rin, illegal entrant ka. No? Now, the reality is, it's kung magpapasok ng application, the rules that would apply, the case law nga, it's very similar to an overstayer at illegal entrant. But of course, kung illegal entry ka, then it is more likely that the home office may view you a bit more negatively, no? than say an overstayer. Dahil at least an overstayer nung pumasok nga dito, meron silang visa, meron silang na legal entry dito. Yung nga illegal entry, they never had that. So that's the difference. Now, yung topic natin, overstay, what do you need to do? Indeed, what can you do? Now, that depends really kung anong situation nyo. It's a huge topic that truly it is a case-by-case basis. But generally, no, kung to try and regularize your stay, sasabihin ng solicitor sa inyo, you need to look at things like Article 8, which is human rights. No? By human rights, mainly it is to do with yung length of time na nandito ka, and also any family ties in the United Kingdom. Now, on top of that, there are immigration rules that can apply. So, for example, the long residence route, which is the 20 years, the children who are born in the United Kingdom and have stayed here, tapos 10 taon na sila, there's also a possibility of regularizing their stay. Young adults between the ages of 18 and 25 who've spent half of their lives in the UK, that's also a possibility. So there are truly a whole host of possible provisions that would apply if you're making an application to regularize your stay, having become an overstayer. So, kung ano man ang titingnan nyo, which route to follow, will very much depend, as I say, on your situation. And if you appreciate, the situation can vastly differ from case to case, no? So, I thought what we could do is tingnan nga natin some specific scenarios, and these cases are actually very recent circumstances that have come across nga this week. And as I was saying earlier on, some of them nga they emailed following on from as a result of our immigration corner. Some actually have met, no, and they've asked me these questions. So now, first scenario is one question I've received, in fact, continuously since I started talking about it is, if you remember 2 weeks back, we were discussing in quite a lot of detail the skilled worker route, which will replace the points-based Tier 2 points-based system as of the 1st of December. So what? That's only couple of weeks or so. Now, so ang question nila sa akin, the situation is this: pumasok siya about 6 years ago, estudyante siya. Now, nagsara yung college, which unfortunately is not uncommon, no? Now, her visa then simply expired, no? Hindi na nga niya na-renew. Now, she is, however, qualified as a senior, or would qualify as a senior care worker under the description proposed under the Home Office list, no? So, ang question niya sa akin, if she's qualified and if someone wants to employ her, so makakakuha siya ng cost dito, the certificate of sponsorship, can she apply in country kahit wala na nga siyang visa, no? In the United Kingdom. Now, unfortunately, under the recent published guidance of the Home Office, which was dated the 29th of October, that does not seem to be possible, no? So at the moment, one of the big things is yung suitability. And one of the suitability requirements is you must not be in breach of immigration condition. So if we were to apply that literally, and that probably is the correct way of dealing with it, to the case nga niya, ibig sabihin kung overstayer ka dito, kahit qualified ka nga as a senior care worker, or indeed under any other job requirement, no, as defined by the points-based system, you will not be able to get a visa as under the new route, no, the skilled worker route. Then they will say you're unsuitable. So she will have the possibility, if she wants to risk it, to go back and then make an application to come back in. Now, it is a risk, though. Of course, meron na siyang background. And there's a minimum ban of 12 months. Now, It depends very much really how the Home Office will deal with those types of applicants. And certainly it's something that I have asked actually, because I want clarification nga kung what would their, is it something that they would consider, no? Kahit nga may background ka, or is it simply that it is something that will haunt you forever? So I've not received yet answer to my question. So I will keep you, of course, informed. But at the moment, kung nandito ka, overstayer ka na nga, even if you satisfy all the requirements of under the skilled worker route that will take over the tier 2 points-based system, at the moment, under the suitability requirement, hindi ka pwedeng magpasok dito, unfortunately. So that's one case nga that I came across today. Now, another question that was posed to me is from someone who entered the UK 2 years ago nga lang, no? And visit visa pagpasok nga niya. Now, the visit visa was actually only for 6 months. So, paso na nga din yung visa niya. And so, she hasn't been an overstayer that long. And she certainly has not been in the UK that long. So, 2 years nga lang. Now, she's single, no? Meron siyang nakilala nga dito, and they've hit it off. It's a new relationship though. They're just dating. So, they both wanted to know actually, is there something that, you know, they can potentially do on the basis of the relationship. So, ang sagot ko sa kanila, well, look, it's a new relationship. So, ang payo ko, tingnan niyo muna where that's going. No? And if it is the case that you want to make a commitment, no, to each other, either say by way of marriage nga or living together, because they're dating only nga at the moment, then that's something certainly we can look at. No? But don't rush into it. So they thought, okay, kada boyfriend, girlfriend nga sila, they can simply make an application on the basis of the fact that they are dating. That's not correct, no? If you're only dating someone, I cannot see that you would succeed on an Article 8 claim kung overstayer ka na, no? It matters not na British nga yung boyfriend or girlfriend mo. If you're only dating, it's a new relationship, then my advice would be hold fire, no? Tingnan niyo muna ano bang sitwasyon. Also, you want to assess their commitment nga to you. Ang ayaw mong mangyari, magpasok ng application and then they don't provide the supporting documents because ayaw na nila sa iyo, for example. So do not make an application just because meron kang panibagong boyfriend or girlfriend. And that's actually what I've advised that inquirer. Now, a third scenario I came across nga this week is where someone is overstayer na siya since 2005. No? Now, meron siyang relationship nga dito, gusto nilang magpakasal. Now, his first question to me was, what can they do that? Second one was, is there another possibility outside the relationship na pwede niyang tingnan? Now, so the first question was, as I say, they want to potentially marry in the UK. Pwede ba? So there, the answer is, as long as he's free to marry, at saka yung fiancé niya, she's free to marry, they can marry in the United Kingdom. But because overstayer nga siya, hindi nga yung basta-basta. So the first step is they would need to make inquiries with the registrar for marriage. So they'll need to meet with a designated registrar and then hopefully then be registered nga for marriage. Just because he's an overstayer, hindi ibig sabihin na hindi nga kayo pwedeng ikasal dito. As long as, of course, you're both free to marry. So as long as you can satisfy nga the designated registrar, you're able to marry. But that's not the end of it. Actually, it's quite the opposite. It's just very much the beginning. Before you do that though, no, that of course, dahil mangyayari, pagka nakausap niyo yung designated registrar, they will say to you, they will advise you, okay, we need to inform the Home Office of your wish to marry, no? And of course, then, ibig sabihin, malalaman nila na nandito ka nga. So before even taking that step, ang payo ko, seek legal advice, okay? So what should then happen, even before you meet with designated registrar, is you should then prepare your application as if it's ready to go. So if you're making an application on the basis of relationship or indeed marriage, make sure now you have a valid passport, okay? Um, Financial documents, especially in relation to your partner, no? Ideally, no less than 6 months, maybe 12 months pay slips, no? Bank statements to also cover the same period. Statements, no? So your solicitor really should prepare that for you. Your statement nyo, sasabihin nga nyo doon when you arrived, how you met, and plan you for the future. Why can't you simply leave the UK, maybe to establish a family life in the Philippines? Is there something that stops you from doing that? So, for example, kung meron siyang pamilya nga dito, that would be one thing, no? So they can be contained in a statement. So now, so marrying is one thing, but really prepare it first. Prepare the application, or more important, you might supporting documents. The application is made online, but you need to make sure that you're ready with the rest of the documents. Now, so there, sabi ko sa kanila, okay, yeah, you can marry, no? But unang-una, let's give me the documents so that we are prepared to make an application as soon as possible, as soon as you've seen the designated registrar. So nandun na application nyo, no? Now, what I would need from them will be different from what I need from someone else. So sa kanila, sabi ko, okay, yung financial documents, accommodation. I wanted also some perhaps supporting documents from close friends, but really only close friends and close family. There's no point giving the Home Office 20 or 200 letters that are exactly the same. No? It's better to have two that are truly applicable to the case. So, for example, magulang nyo o talagang kaibigan, no? So it's more emphasize quality rather than quantity. No? Now, the second question niya sa akin is there something else that he can use that we can base an application on outside the relationship? No? So in his case, he's obviously been in the country only 15 years. Yeah, 15 years because 2005 siya nga dumating dito. Now, there's the long residence route, one of which is the 20 years. So dati, for those of you who are as old as me will remember the 14-year route. Wala na po yun, okay? That was abolished, the 14-year route. So kung may sabi sa inyo, 14 years ka na, pwede ka magpasok, that's completely wrong. It's 20 years. And the 20 years, they mean actually 20 years. So you need to be able to show, and it's for you to show that you've been in the UK for that length of time. He's obviously short by 5 years, so it's not applicable to him. Now, another possibility, sabi ko, is okay, you can see about the length, even though hindi pa nga siya 20 years, 15 years, of course, is a long time. So, he can make an application based on Article 8, length of stay in the UK. But, sabi ko nga din sa kanya, prangka ako, no? Kung yun lang ang may papasok natin, na 15 years nga siya dito, for most of that time, wala nga siyang visa, wala siyang pamilya dito, the chances of succeeding with a Home Office application on human rights, Article 8, private life, is very, very, very small. No? So very likely you will face nga a refusal. So sabi ko sa kanya, unless there's a reason to the contrary, really we need to concentrate on looking at making an application on the basis of their relationship. No? But there nga, it's important it's for you to prove your case. So I've given them a list of documents, and we need to prepare statements nga. But there, the main thing to look at is to prepare for documents, and you should prepare it before you meet with the designated registrar, because as soon as you've met with the designated registrar, sasabihin nila sa Home Office your intention to marry, okay? Which means the Home Office will know, of course, nasaan ka, no? So you need to be fairly quick. Timing is quite important in that circumstance. Now, not everyone in the United Kingdom without leave to remain or an overstay or indeed illegal entrant want to remain. No? May mga tao din na meron na silang konting ipon, gusto na lang umuwi, And then, so I was asked the question, or can I just go back? No, are they going to stop me? Are they going to stop me at the airport to put me in prison? So the answer is, yeah, you can go back. No, kailangan passport, of course, na your valid passport, and of course you need your ticket to be able to go back. No? Now, hindi ka nila pipigilan. They're more than happy to see you go. And you don't even need to say to the home office nga that this is what you intend to do. But be absolutely clear na talagang yun ang gusto mong gawin, na uuwi ka na. Because of course, hindi ka na makakabalik dito, potentially. I mean, saying that, of course, circumstances can change. But kung wala ka ng visa, even though they say, okay, the ban, if you like, is 12 months nga minimum, the reality is, kung wala ka ng visa, may record ka na dito, the chances of you being able to come back into the United Kingdom on any kind of temporary basis, so not excluding those who are coming back in, say, on the basis of a relationship. So kung uuwi ka sa atin, gusto mong balik dito, gusto mong bumisita, o kung gusto mong mag-aral, the chances of you getting a visa on a temporary basis is truly very small. No? It's very likely na hindi na sila maniniwala na uuwi ka eh. No? So sabi ko sa kanya, look, you just need to make sure na talagang yun na nga ang gusto mong gawin, na you're going back with and accept that the chances of you being able to come back in is very small. No? So siya, sabi niya sa akin, well, okay, pag-isipan ko, let's see. And it's you know, he has very good reasons to want to go back. And I must say, with Christmas coming up, it's probably a thought that is you know, occurring for a lot of people, yung mga tao, mga kababayan natin na hindi nga makabalik, especially kung matagal na nga kayo dito, pamilya kayo, and especially yung nga, kung may mga bata, that hurts particularly badly, I think. So namimiss mo sila, of course, especially, you know, Christmas time. But be there, ang payo ko nga, look, try to make a decision that is practical, no? Or at least do not make a decision solely based on, you know, emotional reasons. Because if you then decide to go back, you need to also accept that chances of coming back into the UK is probably quite low, if you already have created for yourself an immigration background. But as I say, I can fully understand. Christmas is a horrible time for people. Oh, hello, Sonny.
Oh, nawala ka, attorney.
Wala na naman ako.
Nawala ka lang video, pero nadidinig ka namin. We can hear you. Wala ka lang video. Oh, we can hear you. Ayan, okay. O, yan na. Baka hindi kaya doon sa timer mo, baka parang dapat you have to put it to sa never, parang ganyan. May 2 minutes, may 30 minutes yan eh. So, anyway. Okay. Right. Sige. Okay. Attorney, yan. Sige, dinig ka namin. Okay. All right.
So, yeah. So sorry about that. I keep cutting out.
No, it's okay.
So
Okay.
yun, not as I was saying, you know, not everyone wants to stay, and Christmas is a particularly sad time for those of us nga na wala tayong kapiling na pamilya nga dito, and especially depressing actually. One of the people I was speaking to this week, sabi niya sa akin, it's bad enough na mag-isa nga siya dito, no? Tapos pinapadalan pa siya ng mga video, no? With, of course, this Facebook na nga, nagpe-FaceTime sila sa likod nila. There's all sorts of festivities nga going on. So sabi niya, she's just dreading to see, you know, Pasko sa atin ang ligaya nga, no? It's a great time also. So they without really intending to make her feel bad, that's exactly what's happening. Dahil nakikita niya yung nangyari nga sa likod nila, no, they're showing her, you know, it's go to church now, mga ganon, no, handa namin, and of course she can't take part, no. So so those viewers nga, who are say in the Philippines, no? Kung meron mga pamilya nga dito, mga kaibigan dito, just bear that in mind, no? Na pagka nag-email nga kayo, which is I'm sure they're happy to see you, but just bear in mind, especially kung mag-isa nga sila dito, no? They don't they are it's happy, they're happy to see you, but they're sad, no doubt, that they can't join you. So just bear that in mind when you're sending them things. And for goodness sake, send them Christmas cards, no? Kahit emails nga lang, yeah? And kung pwede, just send them also presents. So just to show nga, you're thinking of them, no? Now, the final scenario that I came across nga this week is, and this one I come across very regularly. Ang sabi nung inquirer sa akin, I have an employer who wished to sponsor me, but I'm now an overstayer. Pwede ba? No? The first thing is you just have to be careful. No? An employer, kahit nga sila may lisensya under the points-based system, no? Kung overstayer ka na, hindi ka pwedeng basta-basta sponsoran nga dito. In fact, I can't see a situation where an employer can simply sponsor you. So even though I'm sure they mean well and they want to obviously help you, beware. No, that's not a route. That's true. That's terribly viable if you are already an overstayer. In fact, yung employer mo, there's every possibility that they can get into difficulties. No, because the law says you should not employ someone who does not have leave to remain in the UK. So again, beware. No. So having an employer who's supportive does not mean that you can simply apply to regularize your staying on that basis. Now, if you are one of lucky enough to have regularized your stay, ano makukuha mo? Now, generally it's a 2.5-year visa, so 30 months. During that time, pwede ka magtrabaho nga dito. Pwede ka magbiyahe. You don't need another visa to come back to the UK. You can study in the UK also. You can take up 4 jobs, 5 jobs, whatever really. There will be limits as to you should not be claiming public funds generally. There are some exemptions to it, but generally no public funds. You can access for the most part NHS nga. So it's a very good visa to have, leave to remain outside the general rules, for example. Normally, kailangan mo pakita the 2.5 years times 4 to 10 years ka na dito before you can make an application for indefinite leave to remain. Now, so of course, once you're indefinite, permanente ka na dito, and then you can potentially make an application for naturalization. But your immigration background will impact on any naturalization application. So beware also. So hindi nga din yung basta-basta. Take advice before you part with your money, which is about £2,000 now, when applying for naturalization, which is one of the topics we actually covered a couple of weeks back or 3 weeks back. So it is, as I've said, it's a huge topic, and it's a topic that I'm happy to carry on, for weeks on end, because you will never. I in the length of time that I've been doing this, and it's a long time now that I've been qualified. It is a topic that is never ever exhausted. So problems change, facts change, and certainly in Batas it also changes. Case law also changes quite a bit. So you just need to make sure that you're prepared. Again, for as with many things, especially immigration, the key is preparation. So kung sino man ang tutulong sa inyo, make sure that it's they have all the documents, that they're preparing it properly, that you give them full instructions, and they of course deal with that also properly. Now, by the same token, actually, unfortunately, also I've come across a couple of people. This was last week, who have been scammed, really. So may mga tao, unfortunately, they prey on the vulnerable. So you're desperate to regularize your stay, and they make promises. So when something is too good to be true, okay, more often than not, it is not quite right. So just beware. Whoever now you instruct, eyes open. Make sure that what they're saying to you rings right. Kung hindi kayo sigurado, take second advice. There's no harm in doing that. But if you think that there's something not quite right, something dodgy, then apart from, of course, not paying up, don't part with your money. Importante nga din, even more so, is don't make an application that's bound to fail. Dahil mangyayari nga lang, you're creating an immigration background for you, which cannot help, will not assist any future application. Never mind the fact that, of course, as soon as you make an application, you make the Home Office aware of yourself and of course in your address. Nasa nga kayo. So you have to be just be careful. And sometimes, unfortunately, as I say, there are people who would take advantage. So just beware that can happen. And just ensure nga that if you're making an application, that talagang sigurado kayo. And if you're not sure, I say again, take secondary advice. And just to be sure, because of course you need to be comfortable. So I hope that's of some help. Sorry, sabi mo, mayroon daw mga questions ba on this topic?
Sorry. Hindi, meron ako, okay, sorry, nawala, na-mute yung aking phone, yung aking mic. Yeah, meron mga pumasok dyan na parang mga concerns yata. But let's have a short break muna, attorney, bago balikan natin, tapos itong mga cases mo. Ilang cases to? 4 na cases, plus yung huli, hindi ko nakuha yung leave to remain for, you were something about outside of the, may sinasabi ka eh. Pero later on, sige, pagbalik natin, no? Well, have a short break mga kaibigan. Huwag kayong alis. Saglit po lamang. Kami po ni attorney ay magbabalik. Saglit po lamang.
Mula doon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
%100% all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
Okay. Okay, balik na kami ni attorney ngayon, no? At least wala na tayo masyadong wala, no? Yung 1 and 4, parang yung 1 and 4 kanina, case 1 and 4 related, no? Parang pareho because sabi mo 6 years a student yung first one. And then parang senior carer yata, no? Parang qualified, no? Kaya lang yung nga, 'di ba, may COS, yung certificate of sponsorship. Pero that has to be, lalabas siya, kailangan lumabas yata. And then, parang tinatanong mo pa yata, you made a query to the Home Office, gano'n ba? This can be, how do you call it, remedied by in-house or in-country, no? So, medyo naghihintay ka pa yan. In the meantime, nag-overstay pa muna siya. Muna siya. Okay. Maganda yung opening. Would it be a good idea to go home first, tapos mag-reapply? Or parang dahil nag-overstay, like you were saying, slimmer na yung chance niya baka mag-apply. Pero this is not a tourist visa, like you said. Hindi naman to come in to study. This is something like about work. Would it be best for her to eventually go home and say, for example, nag-overstay siya ng 12-month ban ba? 12-month ban para sa kanya
Yeah.
initially.
Well, I mean,
So,
so
kulelat siya sa mga applicants ngayon dahil siyempre pag bagsak nung ito December 1, apply na apply yan. Siya, if she decides to go back home, it will be parang napunta siya sa likod ng pila, no? For 13 months. So parang ganyan. Tama ba yan? Should she
yeah,
go
but
if she goes home, delikado, or should she wait for your more or less yung advice mo, or yung query sa sa home office?
yeah, no, ang payo ko sa kanya, don't go back yet, no?
Oops. Sorry.
Wala tayong-
Sorry, we were
Okay,
switching to your full, yeah.
yeah, so
Go
ang
ahead.
sabi ko sa kanya,
Ang payo mo, wag.
don't go back. At least not yet anyway. So hintayin muna natin. It's a simple really. Does she make an application in the UK, or does she go back make an application nga sa di natin galing sa Pinas? The problem making an application in the UK, kung gusto niyang magpasok under the skilled worker route, the new tier 2 from the 1st of December, is the suitability grounds. Under the suitability grounds, hindi siya bibigyan visa because she is in breach of her immigration condition. So really, the only option potentially open to her is to go back and then make an application out from there. Now, the problem and concern I have is kung uuwi nga siya, I mean, there's a ban of 12 months, but the reality is an immigration background will potentially result to a refusal because it's a background na. You see, they will say hindi ka
may
we
record
don't
siya.
believe. So the your record in the
Oo.
UK will affect any application that you make from anywhere, especially even the Philippines. So my question, the question I posed to the Home Office, the policy section is, what is if someone goes back and they are clearly qualified to come, they would be qualified to come back in, yung alam meron silang background, but they're qualified to come back in to pursue employment, and that employment is under the shortage occupation list. So ibig sabihin, kailangan nga sila dito sa UK. What is the Home Office's policy as regards treating those applicants nga with such background? Are they able to say? Now, understandably, wala pa rin silang sagot, but I'll keep everyone certainly informed, especially nga siya. So sabi ko sa kanya, look, I said again, Christmas can be a terrible time for an awful lot of people. So she's actually one of the ones who said, well, tagal na nga siya dito, maybe it's time nga to go back. She doesn't want to really, meron pa siyang sinusustento nga sa atin. So ang payo ko sa kanya, look, hindi siya ready, don't. And then let's see first what happens. As I say, I will absolutely keep everyone informed.
Okay, all right, yes. Teka muna, magpabatiin lang natin yung ating mga viewers, attorney, no? Ito si si Yan Galicia Paner. Tama ba yan?
Yeah.
Paner. Nababasa
Yes.
mo, attorney? Pakibasa nga lang. Makisuyo lang.
Yeah. So Yan Galicia Paner, she's a regular. I'm sure I've seen. She's natin
okay.
Hello po, good evening po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Lira. Happy Thursday po. Happy Thursday din po.
Ayan.
She's watching from Cheltenham.
Cheltenham, ha? Yeah, may kabayo dyan. May karera yata dyan. Cheltenham, no? Ito yung best friend natin, attorney. Yung best friend natin. Pakibasa mo lang yung kanyang greetings. Yan.
Miss Giling, yeah. Hi, good evening, Ma'am
Miss,
Lira.
good
Happy
evening.
Thursday po.
MM.
Giling, kamusta po? She's so lovely. I say it every week, but she is so lovely. Giling.
But she's probably really thankful to the max sa'yo, no? Because more or less you were able to work on her case, di ba? Naalala mo siya. She's one of your parang mga valued clients mo, no? Who's made it somehow and now are living, how would you call, parang a normal life na dito sa UK, no? Unlike before, siguro kakabakaba yung dibdib niya, no? So,
Well,
yeah, mas mabuti yan. Mabuhay.
No, I mean, no, Miss Giling, I've known a while. It doesn't mean na hindi naman ibig sabihin na kliyente ko siya, but she's certainly someone that I've known, as I say, for a while na nga ngayon. And she's as a person, she's just lovely, no? At saka pamilya niya, they're good people, no? They're good, hardworking people, and it's always I'm always it's a happy Thursday, and I'm happier even pagka binabati nga tayo, and absolutely, Miss Giling. Actually, I don't think binati niya tayo last week, no? She missed one Thursday, Miss Giling. Last week, hindi mo kami binati, I don't think.
Baka nakapag-date eh. Alam mo naman pag-ibig eh, o kaya ano, o kaya may namasyal o baka biglang ano, no. Ayan. Oy, alam mo pagka nababasa ko yung pangalan niya, natutuwa ako kasi parang yun ang laro ko ng bata ako, 'di ba? Giling-giling, 'di ba? Giling-giling estatwa, no. Parang ganyan, no. One of those words.
Yeah.
So, mabuhay ka. Thank you, ah. Joke lang, no. Ano lang, we just wanna make you smile, no. Okay. Ito si Sylvia de la Cruz, no. Sabi si Sylvia de la Cruz, yan bumabati sa atin, attorney. Sylvia de la Cruz. Ayan.
Wow. Hi, Sylvia.
Yes. Tapos si
Lovely.
ano pa sino to susunod? Ito si susunod natin si ano ayan, sino ba yan? Gemma
Okay, so
Renato Acopanda. Ano sabi niya, attorney?
sabi niya, good evening po si Sonny and Attorney Lira. Napakagaling na solicitor niyo naman, ma'am. Oh, you're so nice.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So,
Sweet naman niya. Nakababuhay ka, Gemma. Sayang hindi ka unang nanood. Meron kang dalawa sanang Doritos, no? No. Si Kathy, ano yan? Kathy Barnham ba, attorney? Barnham? Can you read it?
Kathy Barna.
Sige nga.
Yeah. Good evening po. Watching from Aberdeen. My gosh. Okay,
Wow, mabuhay.
being
Aberdeen, up
Aberdeen.
north, ha? Hindi pa ako napunta rin. Napunta ka na ba yan, attorney?
No, not.
Hindi ko pa napuntahan yan.
No,
Oo.
not Aberdeen. Not
Hindi ko pa napunta. Pero Edinburgh, nakapunta ka na, Edinburgh.
I know. I think once a long time ago.
Long time ago. Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yan ang capital, di ba? Yan ang capital ng ano? Paano ka napunta long time ago?
Yeah, but it's so long ago, hindi ko na matandaan. I've always been
No, hindi kasi ang Aberdeen lagpas pa kasi. Mas malayo-layo pa yata yan eh. Parang, I don't know kung 1 hour, 2 hours drive pa yan from Edinburgh, no? Hindi ko alam. But anyway, siguro magre-react yan. Alam mo naman yung mga engagement natin eh. Sumasagot yung mga yan. Ayan, merong yata ano. Ayan, no? Sige, attorney, hindi ko alam kung kilala mo yan. Christine Tiara Ibunya Peña. Ano sabi niya, attorney?
So sabi niya dito, good evening. Can you help my mom for my brother's hearing? She spent a lot of money for him to appeal, for his appeal. Please po, and lots of emojis, sad faces. So look,
pwede ba ilipat yan, attorney? Pwede ilipat yan? Pwede ilipat yan from another attorney to another solicitor to another solicitor? Pwede ba yun?
No, absolutely.
Pwede naman, no?
Payo ko. So si Christine Tiara, itong question galing ka, Christine Tiara Ibunya Peña. So Christine, ang payo ko, bago mo ilipat, of course, doesn't have to be me, pero bago mo ilipat, really, kausapin niyo muna yung panibagong solicitor, no? Because it may well be that you've received nga or yung nanay mo that she's received good advice. It's just it failed. Now you can't win all cases nga. So but it doesn't hurt certainly to have a second opinion. Yeah. So kung ako kayo, and it doesn't you don't need to commit yourself. Certainly ako I see a lot of clients for second or that want second opinion, and I'm very frank nga. So kung yung solicitor nyo or yung representative nyo, they've done from my point of view, a good job, I would say so. And frankly, if they've done a good job, you should stay with them, no? But if there are things nga that have been perhaps missed out or something not quite right, I would also say, I would make suggestions nga. So it doesn't hurt, absolutely, to just get a second opinion. Now, appeals also are time limit sensitive, no? Then if you have an appeal and if you have a refusal and kung yung kapatid mo is abroad, then he has only 28 days, no, yung brother mo, to pursue an appeal. Now if that appeal then fails, no, then you can potentially challenge that, but again there's time limit also to challenge that appeal. So really sa'yo, Christine, ang payo ko, sabi mo sa nanay mo, if the hearing has not yet happened, no, and you're a bit unsure kung, if it's being done properly or there's something else or you want to change, seek a second opinion. It doesn't hurt, no? It really does not. And yung nga lang, make sure that of course you get frank advice, no? Because there's no point also, and I see this also, changing from one representative to another representative, no? Palipat-lipat kayo. That doesn't also fix the problem, and it just may mean that you spend even more money because when you change, they read the papers, they have to spend time, and therefore you pay more, no? So, but Christine, ang payo ko, sabi mo sa nanay mo, look, kung meron siya nga question, then seek second opinion, or indeed, you're very welcome to email me, and if you want to just discuss it briefly over the phone, yung nanay mo, give me a brief note kung ano nga ang problema and the telephone number, and we can of course speak about it. Sonny will flash later on details ko. So feel free, truly. But if it's an appeal, tapos na, then it's time sensitive. And make sure na kung mag-email kayo sa akin, lagay nyo mga petsa, please, no, when the appeal took place. Or indeed when the refusal happened, or if there's a hearing coming up, kailan nga yun, no? So, but yan ang email ko, yung kabatbat@douglas-simon.com, and otherwise you can telephone, but probably best to email me first, tapos bigyan mo sa akin telephone number nanay mo, kakausapin ko siya.
Okay. Ayan, okay yan. No? So, sige, it's best to have a second opinion. Hindi naman na natin sinasabing palpak yung dating abogado mo, no, or yung dating advisor mo, but it's best pag nalaman mo, you can masasense mo naman kung okay, kung di ba, kasi paano, no, that's best because you have to confer para malaman. Okay.
Yeah.
May time sensitive kasi sinasabi, attorney. Teka muna, tingnan ko muna yung mga pagbate. Sabi rito ni Mickey, ang tawag dito, si Lorraine Cantos, no chance pa po, na po ba talaga bumalik here like visit visa? Siguro ito yung mga nag-overstay. Wala nang chance, no? Malabo na, very slim ang chance.
Well, yun na nga eh. Dan problema po ito. Kung sabihin natin yung siya, kung pumasok ka nga dito, sabihin
Ano
natin
pangalan to? Si Lorraine Cantos.
Okay, Lorraine. So ito, kung yung kaibigan mo, sabihin natin, no, pumasok nga siya dito, visitor, tapos napasok na yung visa niya. Ang problema nga, kung uwi nga siya, magpapasok siya, no, come back and say, tatanong ng home offices, anong nangyari? Anong background? Why did you overstay? No? And immediately, suspicious sila. So, even though they say, okay, ban is 12 months nga, and it could be that it is only, on paper it's 12 months, it could be actually far longer than that because there's an immigration background na nga. So again, as I say, kung ang gusto niyang gawin, uwi na nga siya, they can of course do that, but also be realistic na hindi nga, it's not going to be a question, uuwi ka, then you could make an application to come back in, say as a student or on the basis of employment, no? Just like that. Now, it would be different though kung papasok ka dito, say as a spouse, because you're then joining someone to form part of a family unit. That's quite different. If you're coming in to join family, by that I mean your immediate family. So that would be, of course, spouse mainly, less likely nga children in the UK who are under the age of 18. So there's a possibility if you are coming in as a family member. But if you came as a visitor, paso ng visa mo, balik ka sa atin, you want to come back in as a visitor, chances of getting a visa on that basis, extremely small.
Visit visa, no, hindi pa pwede na. Medyo mahihirapan na siya, no? Talagang mahirap na. Because yun nga, may record na, di ba? Magkakaroon na lang, ano ba tawag dun, may sinasabi ka, attorney, no? Merong, ano na yun eh. Ano, tawag ko, background, di ba? Background ang tawag mo. Okay, sandali. Ito, bumabati lang sa atin si May Tigbao, Vargas. Good evening, watching from Exeter, Devon. Ayun, mabuhay yung mga taga-Devon. Mabuhay kayo, no? Itong si Oo, si Edgar Duway, sabi niya, watching from Derby. Good evening, Attorney LSC. Parang London School of, ano ba yan? Ano ba LSC? London College School of Communication o
Yes,
Attorney Lira.
LSE is London School of Economics. LSE is Lira
Hindi,
Simon Cabatbat.
LSE yun, no? LSE, oh. Oo, Lira Simon
Oh,
Cabatbat. And the legendary Laragan ba? Okay, no?
yeah.
Thank you, Edgar Duway, no? Taga from Derby. Good evening po, Sir Sunny and Attorney Lira. Ito si Idel Loner, no? Hindi ka ba
No.
loner, no? Ito yung nagtanong doon sa visit visa, no? So parang wala na bang chance na bumalik, no? Lorraine Cantos. Nice topic po. Sabi niya siguro yung itong ating topic about sa mga overstaying, no? And
Nice po.
I think this is kind of new, no? Bagong viewer natin. Good evening, sir po, sir and attorney, si Chongko, Mickey
Oh,
Chongko.
yeah.
Sabi niya,
Yeah.
watching from Wolverhampton. So at least sa mga viewers
Oh,
natin, attorney, there's letting us know that they're from different parts all over the United Kingdom, from as far north as Aberdeen to as far west as Devon, di ba? England, nasa
yeah,
dulo,
yeah.
Devon yan, di ba? Oo, nasa kaliwa.
Yeah.
So, mabuhay.
Thank you for,
Ayan.
yeah.
Attorney, may sinasabi ka kanina, di ba, well, yung may time limit sa, ito yung mga time limit sensitive yung mga appeals na yata niyan, di ba? But you also
Opo.
mentioned, doon sa may case number 3 natin, na merong
Opo.
nag-overstay for 15 years, ng 2005 nandito, sabi
Yeah.
mo, kasi parang doon sa fiancé niya, kung magpapakasal sila, siyempre sa registrar, ipaalam sa home office, di ba?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
paalam yun eh. Oh, you mentioned he or she must be quick. Bakit? Ano yung ibig mo sabihin, they have to be quick?
Yeah, timing.
Kasi
That's what I
kasi
mean. So,
malalaman na kung nasaan siya pag nag-in-apply na register. He will be found out
yeah.
na, more or less, di ba? Oo, dahil lilitaw
Yeah.
siya,
So,
lulutang eh. Ano yung quick mo?
tama.
Bakit your warning? You have to be quick. Bakit ba?
Yeah. So,
Quick
yeah, it's
saan?
not so much quick, but you have to be, the timing must be right. So, kung ang plano nga gusto niyo magpakasal nga dito, no? As soon as you make contact nga with the designated registrar, ang unang sasabihin nila sa iyo is, okay, we need to inform the home office of your intention to marry. By the home office, they need the marriage unit. So, yung home office, malalaman nila yung na nandito ka pa, and of course, saan ka nakatira, and sitwasyon mo nga. So, before seeing the designated registrar, ang payo ko, make sure that you are ready actually to make your application. So, ayaw mo mangyari, you see the designated registrar and you're not ready for another 6 months to submit your application. No? You need to get it prepared because, of course, ang importante nga that when the home office make contact nga with you, no? That you have already either made the application so that you have some limited protection. Then, of course, kung meron kang application, hindi nga lang basta-basta na, dadamputin ka, papabalikin ka sa atin, no? So it's important that it's you as I say, yung process nga, the timing must be correct. So before seeing the designated registrar, take advice first, no? Start preparing your documents, and then when you know, okay, you're pretty much ready, you can make an application online, and you have all the documents now ready to go. Then you see the designated registrar, and then you get registered to marry. So then the marriage unit, when they make contact with you, and they usually contact you by email, they will then have the background, and nandun ang papeles mo, no? So it is less likely that they may be concerned about whether your relationship is a sham, that binigyan mo na sa kanila yung statements nyo or documents to show na nagsasama nga kayo. So so it's not so much quick, but they need to be yung nga, timing, no? Don't simply go to the designated registrar without seeking advice, and your solicitor will probably say to you, certainly I would say to my clients, let's get the documents ready first bago nga kayo pumunta, because we want to make sure that we try and protect you, of course, as best we can.
Ayun, okay. All right. Attorney, may tanong lang dito, no? Okay. All right. Kailangan prepared. Tsaka they have to seek advice from a solicitor para at least alam nila, mas sigurado sila, no? Kung nasan sila, anong kanilang status, paanong strategy gagawin nila. Okay. May tanong dito ano tawag dito, si Yan Galisa Paner. Sinulat ko na kasi baka
Mhm.
biglang mawala. Kasi pagka live ang show, minsan hindi kasi lumalabas dito sa ating may mga messages na hindi napipick up nag-skip eh. Okay, sabi ni Yan
Oh, okay.
Galicia Paner, Attorney Lira, tanong
Mhm.
ko lang, I'm past yata. I'm past my life. I passed siguro my life in the UK test, and may B1 test ko na pass din. No, pasado
Mhm.
din siguro. Po, automatic na ba yang mag-apply ng British citizenship po? 15 years na po ako dito next year. Salamat po.
Okay. So, Ms. Paner, ito, unang-una, I assume indefinite ka na nga, no? So, pumasa ka na ng life in the UK, pumasa ka na rin ng English language. Congratulations. Especially life in the UK, mahirap yun, no? For passing. Now, you can make an application for naturalization. So, hindi nga yun automatic. Sabi mo, it's automatic. Hindi automatic yun. You need to make the application in 2 stages. Unang-una, yung application for naturalization, no? And that's the one that you then have to attend the ceremony, no? To swear allegiance to the and her heirs. So that needs to happen, yung naturalization muna. Pagka natapos na yung naturalization, so meron ka ng certificate, then and only then can you apply for the British passport. No? But the British passport process, the application process, is not so bad actually. They're generally much faster also, but the length of time is mainly to do, or the longer period, I should say, is mainly to do when you make an application for naturalization. So ikaw, Ms. Paner, kung indefinite ka na, pumasa ka na nga life in the UK, you have language, you're suitable, so no immigration background less than 10 years, for example, then you should get your naturalization. So so you have probably on the limited information that we have, you probably can apply for naturalization. But yung nga, naturalization muna bago British passport.
So hindi pa pwede maski sabi mo 15 years or 20 years pa siya rito. Kailangan that has to be the first stage muna. Obtain your
Tama.
naturalization, 'di ba? And then apply for your British passport or citizenship the following year, no? Kaya
Well,
naturalization ba tawag doon o permanent residency muna, 'di ba? Ang naturalization
yeah,
ba, yung British citizenship na?
yeah.
Yun na ba yun?
So the
Yung
state
British citizen.
unang indefinite leave to remain, no? So yung nga
Yeah,
permanent
okay.
residence.
Permanent
Uh,
residency,
Tapos pagkatapos noon, naturalization, yung nga yung
Oo.
kailangan mo to swear your allegiance to the Queen. And then the last stage would be the British passport application, which is a different process na naman. But yeah, so 3 processes really to get to the last stage, yung sabi mo, the British passport. So I hope you can. You should, Ms. Paner. Kung matagal ka na, it's clearly matagal ka na nga dito. Ang intention mo nga I assume to remain in the UK. I think it's a good idea. So yeah, no, good luck with that.
So ano tawag dito? It's a regular route, 5 taon ng permanent residency, di ba, attorney? So actually, 5 taon lang pwede na, di ba? And then on the following year, you can apply now for yung citizenship mo na, no? Pwede na, di ba? Normally, di ba, 5 years ang regular?
Yeah.
Kung
So
maganda
normally,
ang iyong pasok, maganda ang takbo ng kunyari kung permanent, kung work permit ka and then within 5 years, pwede ka na mag-apply ng permanent residency. So it really, gusto lang nating i-hammer in lang yung idea. It doesn't matter kung, ibig sabihin, hindi porke 15 or 16 or 17 years ka, bago mo na obtain yung permanent residency, it's not an automatic application na parang, pwede ko na bang pagsabayin, 2-in-1 ba? Pwede na bang direkta ng parang citizenship? Hindi po pwede, di ba? Kailangan muna, you have to
no,
go through the first stage, permanent
yeah,
leave to remain, no? Ganon.
yeah. So kailangan muna indefinite, then naturalization, and then nga yung British passport. So it's you can't do 2-in-1, no? You can't also skip
Hindi pwedeng
the
automatic na, oo.
I wish there were, but no automatic.
Hindi pwede. So hindi pwede. It doesn't matter, hindi porke maraming taong ka na rito, automatic yun. Parang when you become you get your permanent residency. Baka ibig niyo sabihin, soon as you got your permanent residency, the following day, you can apply for citizenship right away? Oh, do you have to wait for 1 year?
Yeah, in some cases you can. So, for example, if you are married to a British citizen, no? So sabihin natin, spouse visa ka, no? You entered the UK, 5 taon ka na, nakakuha ng indefinite, no? When can you then apply for naturalization? The following day is the quick answer to that. You don't need to wait the usual 12 months because you're married to.
Okay.
So you, in that case, you can. But for most applicants, so those people who are in the UK, say as under the points-based system, o kaya leave to remain outside the normal rules, so matters like that, or long residence route, you normally need to wait the 12 months. So pagka nakakuha yung indefinite, for most cases, you have to wait nga the 1 year, and then you apply for naturalization, which obviously is the second stage, and then the third stage nga is finally the British passport.
Ayan, so pwede pala pag spouse, okay lang. The following day, pwede ka na, no? All right. Babasahin ko sa gilid dito kasi hindi lumalabas diyan, no? Sabi ni Ma'am Cora Carsola, sabi niya, attorney, ikaw, pakita lang kita. Sabi ni Ma'am Cora Carsola, very interesting topic tonight, Sir Sonny and Attorney Lira, regarding overstaying. Pwede rin ibahagi sa iba nating pwede rin ibahagi sa iba ang natutunan namin. Okay, well, good. So it becomes tama naman. Thank you very much. It becomes a learning, parang lesson din to, no? O parang no ka lang yan. Para kang wow, may natututunan tayo maski paano. Abogado ho to, talagang immigration lawyer ho to, no? Kahit yung sinasabi niya doon lang sa kanyang specialty pinag-uusapan natin at natututunan natin, no? Okay. Yung best friend mo, attorney. We have our best friend. He's with us tonight, bumate. Though late, no? Pero okay naman. Si Ranjit Somel.
Yes.
Hello, both. I'm here listening in from Warwickshire. Yan, wow.
Oh.
Ranjit, we missed this guy,
Hello,
no?
how are you?
Kumusta? Kumusta? Marunong kayo ng Spanish? Does he know Spanish? Kumusta ka, no? Yan Galicia Paner, thank you so much. Ito yata siguro yung yung attorney tinatanong ko niya pero congratulations, nakapasa ka. Life in the Spirit seminar tuloy nasa isip ko. Life in the UK test, di ba? Minsan mahirap din yata yun Ngayon
that UK test is not easy, no? So talaga absolutely my congratulations to you, no, Miss Paner, dahil it's truly a very challenging test, no? Talaga hindi yung basta-basta. It's something that kailangan yung mag-review. And it's not cheap, no? Also to take, but truly it's well done that you've passed that. It's quite an achievement. So yun.
Meron pa siya binanggit na B1 test. Ano ba yung B1 test?
Yeah, English language. Yeah. The
English language.
Language. The English language is less challenging, you know, for at least for people that I see, especially kung tayo mga Pinoy dahil sanay tayong Taglish, no, and depends also kung its English is also not unusual nga ginagamit natin, especially kung matagal ka na nga dito. So that is less challenging, I find, for a lot of my clients yung B1. But the life in the UK, that's a different thing altogether. Will require quite a lot of reviewing. So if you're planning to take to do the life in the UK, talaga take a holiday and magbasa kayo, no? Or you need to set time to really read it. Problema nga lang tayo mga Pinoy, lagi tayong nagtatrabaho, no? Diba, Sonny? Usual we have 2 or 3 jobs. Yeah. So it's by the time you get home, pagod na kayo. But you have to really set aside time to review because it's not that kind of it's truly not easy, the life in the UK. Huh?
Parang yan, IELTS sa Pilipinas, yung mga nurses because they're working, tapos kukuha pa ng course na yan. Parang siyempre may parang seminar or course. Parang nahihirapan sila to juggle them both, no? yung work at saka ano, 'di ba? Yung kanilang review. Ah, tama 'yon, no?
Yeah.
Bilib din tayo
No,
sa kanila, no? Dahil nagawa nila 'yan, no? Okay, attorney, may interesting question dito. Yun, yung mga sinasabi, mga binabaklas, may mga ganun, ba? Nakakita sa pelikula, para biniblade-blade pang ganun yung picture, papalitan para makapasok, di ba? Mga
mm,
binabaklas. At saka, eto, may tanong dito babasahin ko lang, no? Para sa iyo.
opo.
Eto, ang nagtanong si Lorraine Canto, sabi niya, one more question po. Pwede, please, no? Eto, scenario to, attorney, eh. Like,
Opo.
like ko po ang mga like ko po. Ako, nawala na yung question niya isa. May binabasa. Ang pangalawa na ano na yan, nag-forward na attorney eh. Teka muna. Basically, what she was saying in the initial part, parang somebody used a fake name, halimbawa. Okay?
Mhm.
Nakapasok siguro, o baklas. Sabihin na natin, baklas kasi uso-uso sa mga Middle East, mga ganyan. Naririnig ko siguro mga kwento ng mga baklas-baklas, no? Papalitan
Mm.
yung mukha, magaling yung gumawa ng taking out the picture. Anyway, nakapasok na baklas. Pwede ba silang umuwi using the real name, or should they use the baklas name and then come back na makapasok pa sila? I mean, would that be paano ba yan? Matatest, fingerprints, so I don't know kung anong mga ano. So, ang
Well,
storya is parang kasi ano na no, na hindi kasi pumasok dito sa sa pinipick up natin eh. Doon sa may parang live natin, pagka lumagpas
mhm.
na, hindi na natin mabasa eh. Anyway, parang
Well,
ganun.
it's
So, they go out,
I
they,
can
they
get,
came in
yeah.
baklas, kunyari,
Mm.
baklas. O, nakuha mo na yung G siguro. Baklas,
Yeah.
lalabas siguro, gamitin ng real name. Pero paano kung,
Yeah.
paglabas ba ng airport o ng ano ba, attorney, may listahan ba? Do you have, I don't know kung may idea ka. May idea ka ba dyan? So, bumili ng ticket, no? Siguro, kumuha kasi encourage naman ng embassy na huwag kayong matakot maski overstaying kayo. Hindi naman sila ituturo at hindi naman sila no, kung gusto nila mag-renew ng mga passport or anything, no? So,
Mhm.
paglabas ba, para bang may record ka ba? Parang ganun, as the kunyari gamitin mo na yung original mo. May listing ba yan? Parang di ba? Wala naman kasing tatak dito palabas eh. Hindi ka di ba? Sa atin sa Pilipinas, lumabas ka, pumasok ka, may tatak. Di ba? May record dito,
Yeah.
pumasok ka, may tatak ka. Pero paglabas mo, parang hindi ka yata chine-check, Parang walang stamping, no? Is that a way na makakalusot in reality?
Well,
And use your
it
real name eventually?
yeah, pero ito you see, it doesn't really help. So it's an interesting scenario actually. So let me maybe let me guess, no, what the scenario is. So nandito siya, baklas ang pagpasok. So pumasok siya dito, hindi nga siya yung may passport siya, hindi nga niya pangalan. So baklas nga pagpasok nga niya dito. Now, gusto niya nang umuwi sa atin. Now, ang question gagamitin ba niya yung tunay niyang pangalan, yung tunay niyang dokumento kung uuwi nga siya sa atin, o itutuloy ba niya yung baklas? Now, it's never ever a good idea to use a false document. No, it's a criminal offense. Huwag niyong gagawin. That would be one thing. Now, but it doesn't even matter. So let's put aside the fact that it's truly not a good idea. Pero kung baklas ka nga dito, kung anumang passport gagamitin mong sabihin natin babalik ka nga sa atin, it doesn't really make any difference because you still have the same problem, no? Dahil kung uuwi ka nga sa atin, so you still need to come, if you're looking to come into the United Kingdom, you still need to make an application. And then, kung papasok ka dito, say, I don't know, to join, say, a partner, o kaya to pursue employment in the UK, then let's say partner nga, then they will wonder, well, on what basis, no, na nandito ka dati? So the background absolutely is still relevant. But I say this again, no, sometimes I also come across people who are, offered these documents nga. Huwag niyong gagawin. Truly, do not, compromise yourself. and in using false documents. Huwag niyong gagawin because it will bring all sorts of problems, including it's the fact that, of course, it's a criminal offense to do so, no? And you can be put in prison for it. So it's just do not be tempted, no, to circumvent the immigration rules by using false documents. Not a good idea.
Attorney, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Opo. Yeah.
Okay,
Can
dito,
you hear me?
babasahin ko lang dito. Nandito ako sa pinaka-main. Yeah, I can hear you. Ito si Lizzie Habs lang, bumabati. Magandang gabi po sa inyo, Attorney Lira and Sir Sunny. Happy Thursday. Ayan. Sabi niya, no?
Happy Thursday.
Oo, binabasa ko lang yung mga hindi ko makita. Uy, may bumabati sa atin from Vienna, si Enrico Rojas, no? Isang nurse to. At nakapanayam natin nung Monday, no? Napakahusay nito. Si Enrico Rojas. Maganda ang kwento rin nito, no? Kanyang adventure sa Vienna. Uy, I'm interviewing mga kasama ko, co-host ko every Sunny Laragan show, mga nurses all over Europe, no? So makilala natin sila. Parang nang sa ganun they get to be exposed to our other kababayans. Yan. Illegal entry yata, sabi ni Ohaya Himhe Marinel, illegal entry yata
Opo.
yung sinasabi na baklas, ibang name na ginamit. Ayan.
Tama po.
Yeah. Oy, nagpapasalamat si Glo Marie. Yay, nanalo na naman ako. Thank you, Sir Sunny and Attorney Lira, yung kanina yon. Ayun, ito, binabasa ko lang itong mga ayan, sabi ni Idel Loner, Attorney, pahingi po ng email nyo para makapagtanong ako about my son. Ayan.
Opo.
Hindi kasi lumalabas yan, no? Oo, yan. Mamaya, yan.
So,
Ipa-flash natin maya-maya, no?
Yeah.
Oo.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Dito lang ako sa ating,
Yeah.
yan. Andito lang ako sa ating control room, kaya medyo hindi ko na, hindi natin na-switch. Ito yung question niya, pero ngayon ko lang, one more question po, please, po, ng mga baklas ang pasok dito po nila, real name pag po ba umuwi, real name nila gamitin, so they have a chance na bumalik dito sa real name nila. Salamat po. So parang ganun lang, no? Came in different, class, uuwi ng real name, babalik para makabalik, real name din. No? Pwede ba yun? Yun ang tanong niya siguro. Go ahead.
Yeah, yung nga.
Attorney.
Yung nga, just say again.
Yun, sinagutan natin yan, di ba?
Yeah. So, when yung gagamitin, if you can help it, talaga, it's never a good idea, no, to use false documents. Because it has very serious consequences. So,
kung hindi mahuli, Attorney, hindi naman mahuli kasi nakatira dito ng for a long time, baklas ng living under a assumed name o kung ano man yung nandun sa kanyang passport, lalabas siya na using his or her own name, probably got a passport from the embassy, and by virtue of not overstayed on the original name na ginamit niya, parang fresh start yun, parang ganun ba ang feeling na? Pero wag pa rin, di ba? Wag pa.
Well, when yung gagawin, also, it's one thing na, sabihin natin, bumalik nga siya doon, they're making an application to come back in, but on what basis are you making the application, no? So you still need to satisfy the rules. And truly, if they think na somehow you've been in the UK, you've not declared properly kung anong background mo, then if they then refuse you on that basis that you've sought to enter the United Kingdom by deception, no, then definitely they will not grant you a visa on any temporary basis in the future, no, because they will have a record nga that you sought to come into the country by deception. So truly, it's again, I know circumstances sometimes na nangyayari nga, but if you can help it, huwag niyong gagawin because it's never ever good idea.
Okay. Okay. Si Ranjit Somnel sabi niya, bien gracias, no? Hola. Si, no little Spanish. Sorry, I've been really busy last couple of weeks. I'll be back here more often, I promise. Yan. He promised to be back na. To be back with us regularly. Kasi Di ba? Meron siya konting mga pa-quiz-quiz pa na may mga quizzes siya, no? Yan, Galicia
Yeah.
Paner, yes, yeah, po, it's not easy po. Sabi niya, thank you po so much. Yan, yung kanyang test, no, hindi madali.
Mm.
Mahirap, no? So,
No.
tama, magaling, no? We congratulate you. Si Jay Tayan,
Mm.
hello, Ma'am Lira. Jay Tayan, no? Tayan, T-A-Y-A-N, ang surname niya, Jay ang first name. Meron siyang tatlong hearts
Mhm.
diyan, no? Si Joe Feli Corazon, happy Thursday po. Interesting lahat ng topics, daming natutunan. Uy, thank you, Joe Feli. Ganda na pangalan niya, Joe, J-O-E, tapos Feli, F-E-L-Y, Feli, no?
Oh,
Ayun.
yeah. Parang
And si Emmeline Rafael, sabi niya, good evening, Sunny and Attorney Lira and everyone. Oy. Nia Turner, thank you. Si Nia Turner, one of our sharer ito. Pagka yung show natin, sinishare niya, no? Oh, si
Yeah.
Nia, thank you. Sabi niya, i-scroll mo, Sunny. Kasi hindi ko makita kanina. Lorraine Santos, salamat po, Attorney Lira and Kuya Sunny. Thank you. Sabi ni Nia Turner, kung baklas passport niya, pagpasok sa UK, it means baklas passport din pag umalis. Ganon, no? Siguro, parang
Yeah.
siguro kung ako yan, no? Kung nakapasok ang baklas, lalabas, gamitin ko na sa passport, palabas, no?
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Attorney tuloy, Kathy Barnham, Attorney and Sir Sunny, paki-shoutout po. My thoughts and prayers goes out to our homeless and jobless kababayans in the Philippines, especially those affected by the recent storms. Ipagdasal po natin sila. Yeah, of course. Yes, siyempre. Yung mga, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Yung mga sakunang na 'di ba? Ang mga unfortunate things happening to our kababayans. Siyempre, let's pray for them, no? Mahirap yan
Yeah.
ganyan, no? At least maswerte tayo, wala tayong bagyo rito sa UK, no? Wala ring lindol. May lindol ba rito, Attorney? Have you ever experienced an earthquake dito? Meron din?
Well, nothing that is substantial, no, and not low. You barely really feel it. Tayo, when we have earthquakes, I mean, it's really earthquakes, no. But it's yeah, no, it's also I mean, it's bad enough. Meron nga tayo sa Pinas nga merong COVID. Of course, that's everywhere. But yeah, in the Philippines may COVID nga. A lot of people have been suffering from that. Tapos binagyo pa tayo. And all of that before Christmas. So yeah, no, I'm absolutely with you. Certainly shout out, and yeah, let's certainly my best wishes nga, no, sa mga kababayan natin, and it's terrible, really. And I hope that things get better. Tama ka, no, Kathy.
Ayan,
So
yung pinasok natin, yung kanyang ano.
Yeah, no, tama
Pinasok
ka.
natin.
Yeah. So
Meron tayong ano. I'm sorry, may sasabi ka pa. Hindi, sabi ko lang si Sian Sabio, bumabati sa atin, taga Madrid, Spain. Madrid ba? O Spain,
wow.
taga Spain lang yata. Sorry, hindi ko alam ko. Ayan, so, Ola from Madrid. Ola talaga. Hi.
Hola.
Uy, manood ka. Sa Sabado, meron tayong Sabado panalo, 1:00 ng hapon sa Madrid, no? Panoorin nyo. Siyempre, mga 12:45 pa lang, 12:30 pa lang, nakaabang na kayo. Dahil mamimigay ako ng 3,000 pesos sa inyong mga loved ones. Pag napili ho kayo doon, simple lang gagawin ninyo. Of course, i-like nyo yung Sunny Laragan, official, yung aking Facebook page. Secondly, manood kayo, watch the program on Saturday. Hindi pa ngayon, kunyari nag-like kayo, you said you're watching from Madrid or watching from Vienna, hindi pa ho qualified yun. Kailangan on the day itself, manood kayo on Saturday. And then, share the show. No? Pag na-share nyo yung tatlo na ho na yun, then you qualify. Ay, may isa pa, i-comment ho ninyo kung nasa kayo nanonood, kunyari watching from Vienna, Attorney, kunyari watching from Aberdeen, watching from Cheltenham, di ba? Ganyan, kailangan. So we have to know where you're watching. And then, meron kaming parang digital o picker, mapipick yung mananalo. But you have to satisfy that you have liked the page, you have you are watching the program kasi, Attorney, nire-require ko saan they have to call me. Pag nakabunot tayo, you have to call us via Viber. Tawag kayo. Para malaman natin kung nanonood kayo. Di ba mamaya, nag-hello lang kayo, tapos maya-maya, di ba? You have to be watching the show and sharing it and liking it and so on and so forth. Ayan. So, mabuhay kayo. Hola, from Madrid. Naku, mabati sa atin. Oo. Ayan. Naku, Attorney, parang hindi kaya na-over sila. Ang daming natutunan sa gabing ito. Grabe talaga, no? Ayan, no? Oy, ito
no?
yung ito yung first lady ng Caviteños UK dahil yung ang hobby niya is the founder of Caviteños UK yata, si Lito, no? Ayan, attorney, oh. Good evening,
Oh,
Sunny and Attorney Lira. Lito and Nelly family is they're watching. Mabuhay kayo.
oh,
Ayan. Si
oh,
Lito,
mabuhay.
hindi ko alam kung si Lito ay related kay General Aguinaldo. Yung 'di ba, yung first president natin, Emilio Aguinaldo, 'di ba? Yung
Yeah.
Philippine Republic, the first Philippine Republic ba tawag doon? Yung 'di ba, Emilio Aguinaldo?
Mm-hmm.
Siya ang considered the first president yata ng Pilipinas, 'di ba? Dahil sa Kawit Cavite,
Yeah.
'di ba? They hoisted ba the flag ba? O ito, unfurled the flag, ano ba ang tawag doon? 'Di ba? Yung flag raising niya
Yeah.
sa Kawit Cavite, oh. Mabuhay yung mga taga
Yeah.
Cavite.
Oh,
Ayan.
yeah.
Si Norma Santiago, umabate, good evening, 'di ba? At least mahabol pa sila. Yan, sabi nga nila, maski paano, nakakahabol pa rin, no? Magsasarado na yung pintuan
Yeah,
namin,
no.
magsasarado, sasarado na yung tindahan. Tapos, biglang, oo.
Grabe.
Pagka,
No,
attorney,
but
siyempre, pag may mga tanong ho kayo, at kunyari, nagtapos na ho kami at nanggigigil kayo, gusto niyo sabi, pambihira naman, tapos na yung show. Ito ho, flash ko lang ho, iyan ang tawagan nyo. O, hindi tawagan, gabi
oh,
na. I-email ninyo, I should say. It's best to email first, no? Para mas mabuti ho yan. And then siguro sabihin ni attorney na, sige, tawag ko, usap tayo, whatever, no? Ayan. Email
yeah.
nyo muna para nang
So
sa ganun ay malaman.
yeah, so yung nga, so just to make it more, more interesting at saka that it's focused nga on problems nga natin, no? Ang gawin natin, look, kung meron kayong mga questions and yung nga nahihiya kayo, you've not had time, so you to call or to email, email me your question, no? So ilagay nyo doon kung if you don't want to be known, that's fine. Hindi nga yung po problema. Just say, ang alias nyo, I know, Sampaguita, Raul, as I was saying, or Maria, or Lira, no? And then for the following Thursday, so this Thursday, no, I'll deal with your questions, no, and I will call you on with your I will mention nga yung alias, so alam nyo I'm dealing with your question. So do feel free. Kung nahiya nga kayo, you don't really want to to take part so directly, hindi po problema. Email me directly. Give me a brief note of kung anong pong problema, and then give me an alias, and then I'm happy to deal with it substantially, sa programa nga natin. So at least we share it, but without compromising nga yung privacy nyo. So and everyone is welcome, of course, no? So email me. Huwag kayong mahiya, please.
Hindi ba pwede yun, attorney, na yung tunay nilang pangalan iyan sa'yo na bigay, pero sabihin lang nila, attorney, pag sakaling babasahin mo yung case ko, baka pwedeng bigyan mo na lang ako ng alias. Or pwede rin, in the course of their trying, in a way, they're probably consulting you, and eventually, in the hope of ikaw na nga, pwedeng mag-alias sila, and on the time na they will have to, how do you call that, instruct you or whatever, ganun ba ang tawag, technical term, pwede na silang magpakilala as kung sino sila. Pwede rin ganun siguro, no?
Yeah. Yun na nga. Look, solicitors also, we're bound very strictly by rules relating to privacy, no, confidentiality. And if we divulge the details of a case, then we would get into really big trouble with our governing body, which is the Solicitors Regulatory Authority, the SRA. No, so it is truly, if you kung nahihiya nga kayo, you want to use an alias, to either call us, to email me, hindi din po yung problema. And yeah, if you want to also just share your experience, we can, absolutely, we can also share nga your details. But if you don't want to, you want to share experience, hindi nga lang yung details nyo, no problem there also. You can absolutely just email me. At least meron nga, alam natin kung naging problema. And that's a great thing with ditong show natin, it's very interesting to also hear and different experiences, no? Because it certainly can And that's what makes it quite exciting also, no? Iba-ibang istorya natin.
Attorney, putulin kita, baka mawala itong message sa ano, baka biglang mag-scroll up na naman, ha? Sandali, ha? Okay, basahin ko lang to. Sabi ni Adelina Miranda, good evening po, tanong ko lang po, attorney, bala ko pong dalhin ng mga anak ko dito, anong mga documents sa mga dapat kong ihanda? Thanks po. Medyo mahaba-haba bang sagutan yan? Next time na lang?
Yeah, actually,
Ano lang naman,
maybe
pera
next
lang
time.
naman, pera, ano ba kailangan? Pwede na next time na, no?
Lang po. No, hindi lang po yun. I mean, I'll try and deal with that briefly. So, Adelina, ito po. It depends also kung anong status mo dito. But let me assume na, indefinite ka na dito o British ka na. So, there are a number of requirements. So, of course, sabi mo nga, so, na sapat nga ang pera mo pagka nandito sila, pwede mo silang sustentuhan. Accommodation. So you can't have overcrowding. So kung dalawa sila, tatlo, or indeed isa, you need to make sure na meron nga silang kwarto. It depends also how many rooms will also depend kung anong edad nga nila. So those are the two things for financial requirements. Of course, importante, kailangan mong pakita kung status mo nga dito. Now, kung hindi mo kukunin yung si Mister, yung ama nila, then you may need to also satisfy what's called sole responsibility. So, ibig sabihin, hindi nga lang pera. Kailangan mong pakita na ikaw nga ang bahala, ikaw ang bahala nga sa kanila. You have sole responsibility for them. So, you're not sharing that parental responsibility with anyone else. So, yung ama nila, o lola, o lolo, o auntie. Now, kahit nga tumutulong sila, that is yung mga lola, lolo, auntie, ikaw pa rin ang may sole responsibility sa bata. That is where sole responsibility is actually if you like, the most popular refusal reason by the Home Office. So ingat ka, no? Ingat ka, Adelina. Be sure that you satisfy that. But the other things, as I say, finances. So pera mo, bank statement, payslip, evidence of accommodation, all those things are easier if you like, no? But yung sole responsibility, that is the most problematic and often the more difficult. Then how do you prove for sole responsibility? It's quite difficult.
So, pwedeng next time, kung papasok ka doon sinasabing criteria ni attorney, email mo na lang siya. Pero yun nga, yung mga financial accommodation, yun ang most important na kailangan maayos ka, no? Okay, sabi ni Norma Santiago, attorney, sabi ni Norma Santiago, Douglas Simon po ang gumawa ng papel ko. Thank you po sa inyo. Ayan. Oo. Ba? Okay,
Salamat
Norma Santiago,
po.
talagang, oo. Tapos, meron ditong si Lee ito, watching, sabi ni Lee Anchohos, watching. Thank you, Lee, no? Sige, acknowledge lang natin si Lee dyan sa ito kasi nasa So, Lee Anchoas, thank you very much. Tapos si Yani Acosta, sabi niya, hello po, Sir Sonny. Ano ba to? Hello po sa inyo, Sir Sonny and Ma'am Lira. Good evening po. Watching here, UK, safe. Keep din po kayo. Keep safe din siguro kayo. God bless po sa inyo, to both of you. So, God bless both. Okay. Tapos meron dito akong nabasa, sabi ni Nia Turner, ito last na siguro, no? Para magpaalam na tayo. Baka mawala yung aking audio sa aking AirPods, no? Sabi ni Nia Turner, shoutout po sa mga nanonood. Kung kayo ay may problema sa immigration matters, email LIRA, subok na maaasahan na solicitor here in the UK. Ayun, meron ka palang, parang, ano ba tawag dito? Mga, ano ba to? Yung, very good, no? Okay. So, ayun ho, no? Ayun na muna. At tayo, baka mawala na yung aking, kasi 2 hours lang yata yung power nitong aking AirPods, no? So at least, or less. But napaano siya. Okay, well, attorney, it's been a wonderful, kaya nakakamiss kapag Thursday, di ba? Di ba? Ito yun, di ba? We are interacting, we are, ano ba tawag nila sa yan, yung engaging, nagkakaroon ng engagement with the community or with the viewers. Yeah. Imagine we have Austria and they're trying to acknowledge na nasa Austria sila, nasa Madrid sila, nasa kung saan-saan silang nanonood sa atin. And that's good, no? That's nice to hear. And different parts of UK, Aberdeen, Cheltenham, Devon, ganun, lahat eh. No? So that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, Well,
Yeah.
I guess magpaalam na tayo. Medyo maganda yung ating topic ngayon. Sabi mo nga, pwede 2 or 3 episodes ng ating yung immigration,
No?
ano ba tawag doon? Yung overstaying, overstaying.
Yeah.
So, ayan.
We need to.
Sige, attorney, baka meron pa kayong gustong idagdag o pahabol, bigla mo lang naalala at the last second o last minute na nais mo pang biglang mabilis na sabihin or may mga shoutouts ka, go ahead, please. Paalam na tayo.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, the same thing nga, no? I mean, truly, lagi kong sinasabi to, but Happy Thursday truly is a happy Thursday for me. That it's always humbling, no, na that you take time nga to watch and to join us, no. So it's I hope you continue nga. Pero yung mga those viewers nga na they don't really, they shy, they don't want to be known. Talaga, just email me yung situation nyo, yung tanong nyo, and then if you're happy for me to also deal with it nga the next broadcast, I'm happy to do so. But you can give me an alias so that you're not identified. But at least alam nyo I'm dealing with it, and we're answering nga your questions. No, it's a big topic tong overstayer. So I'm happy to revisit it, but regularly. Kung meron kang question about it, again, at any time, I'm happy nga to deal with it. Maybe next Thursday. We've had a few questions, and also I've had also a number of inquiries also last week nga. Maybe we can deal with applications, family applications, no, specifically maybe to do with children coming into the United Kingdom. That's that's also quite a big topic. So pag-usapan natin yung tanungan earlier on about sole responsibility coming into the UK. So let's pencil that in if you're happy with that, Sonny. Napag-usapan natin, yo.
Yeah, of course, of course. Well, kasi there are always new cases. Every case is different din. Wala namang same case. May mga konting variations yan eh. And the same
Yun nga.
principles stay eh. Parang batas yan eh, na
Yun nga.
ito yung mga prinsipyo, pero maraming application, maraming kaso na, and that's the reason why it has to be, diba? It has to be given proper advice kasi iba-iba ang iba-iba ang kwento eh. So, ayan,
Yeah. So
ano ba? Oo.
for next week, I'll also we can deal with that as a topic. Titignan ko nga din
Sige.
kind of maybe new case law na makakatulong. So for the viewers, no, kung meron kayong mga question, especially nga if it's to do with applications for children to come into the UK, email me, or and I'm more than happy, certain to ensure nga that's yung questions nyo nga are dealt with. So but yeah, please I say again, I'm so grateful now meron mga tayong the to the viewers who are consistently watching us. It's truly humbling, and I hope that you have a happy rest of the Thursday, which is not too long now, and keep safe.
You hope them ako. I hope they learned something tonight. I'm sure a lot of people learned something tonight. No, aside from you were hoping na okay sila and we're safe and everything. No, pero I hope also that you learned something aside from being safe at home. No, kasi I'm sure na safe na kayo sa bahay na nanonood na. No, ito may pagbati lang. Pahabulin natin kasi ito. No, maraming salamat po Kuya Sunny and Attorney Lira. I'm happy to help to hear both of you. Good night and stay safe po sa ating lahat. Tama yun yung sinasabi ni Attorney. Stay safe kayo. Si Ian Galicia Paner. Ang gagawin natin ngayon, okay, tonight we started with the first to call. Next time naman, what we're gonna do is from all of the comments that we have, we will pick a winner na lang. Parang meron tayong parang ruleta o raffling, all the messages that were sent in during the show, ira-raffle electronic raffle natin, and meron tayong winner nung dalawang, maliit lang, katuan lang, maliit 2 Doritos, every, ganun lang siguro gawin natin for the next now. Pero congratulations do sa ating winner na but before we end, congratulations do sa unang bumati winner, kasi nagpakita siya unang-unang nanood kaagad. Gloria Maria Rose Cancino Martinez. Email mo si attorney Gloria Maria, kung saan ang address mo para sa ganun ay maipadala yan ang email niya, Anyway, kung hindi mo kaagad nakita, all you have to do is just watch the show again, diba? And you will i-forward mo na lang doon sa part na may lumalabas yung email address. Okay, well, I guess it's time for us to say goodbye now. Napakaganda ng gabing ito, and as always, it's a happy Thursday. Especially, syempre, natutuwa tayong lahat na meron tayong information, na natututunan. So, yun lang. Siguro, ganun, i-trade ko lang sinabi ni attorney, no? Ingat lang ho tayo, keep safe, and, well, make it a habit. Make it a habit every Thursday to be with us, no? Dahil pagka wala kayo, medyo malungkot ang buhay natin. Siyempre, it's nice that you're there. And of course, if you have any questions, don't feel free to ask us, no? Especially pag live programs. Pero kung let's say, tapos na yung show or ano, no? Or baka nahihiya kayo, may ganyan mga instances, then you can just email attorney si attorney no Lira. Pabatiin ko lang tong itong huli, pahabol ko lang attorney kasi biglang may sumulpot na alam mo naman, sayang din, 'di ba? Nag-message sila tapos ano pa no, hindi pa nakita. Ito, sabi ni Archie ano yan? Ano pangalan niya? Rotap. Si Archie. Archie Rotap, attorney Lira. And Mr. Laragan, power tandem po kayo. Keep it up. Keep up the good work in service of the Pinoy community in the UK. Kilala ko to, si Archie Rota. Archie, how are you? Kumusta ka na? Na-miss ka na namin, no? Thank you po. Si Idel Loner. Kilala mo ba to? Si Archie Rota?
Yeah, he's a lovely chap talaga.
Oy, Archie, mabuhay ka. It's been a long time, ha? Okay, si Idel Loner, thank you po. Very good topic, karagdagang kaalaman. Keep safe po tayong lahat. God bless po. Yan, binasa ko yung last message. Okay, well, thank you very much. No? Sa ngalan ni Attorney Lira, no? Ako po si Sonny Laragan nagsasabi, thank you very much sa inyong pagsubaybay sa amin dito sa Immigration Corner. Let's do it again next week. Ha? If you want to be happy, be with us for the Immigration Corner. So till then, thank you. God bless. Goodbye.